How's it, everyone? Welcome to another string review right here on OpenCourt. So Luxilon released a new string recently. I don't know if you guys heard, but anytime Luxilon releases a string, that always grabs my attention. So today we are taking a look at Luxilon's new Eco Power string. So before we take a look at this new string by Luxilon, if you guys like this content, be sure to overhead smash that like and subscribe button to keep the reviews coming. Let's check out the Luxilon Eco Power. So this new Luxilon Eco Power string is currently available at $14.95 for a set or $179.95 for a whole reel. And it comes in this nice tealish green color. And right now it's only available in one gauge, the 125mm. So obviously when you take a look at this Luxilon Eco Power, the immediate comparison you will make is with the recently released ReString Zero, which I also reviewed very recently on this channel, and I really like that string. This Eco Power as well as the ReString Zero are made with an environmentally conscious approach to reduce waste to help the environment. This Luxilon Eco Power string is made 100% from recycled materials, including PET bottles and other packaging materials. It also says 100% solar up here in the corner, and this is an initiative that uses solar panels as the main source of energy during production of this string. It also has a hexagonal profile, 6-sided, which means that it's going to grab the ball and help to impart spin. So I am going to string this Luxilon Eco Power up in my Head Boom Pro at 52 in the mains and 50 in the crosses. That is my reference tension. The ReString Zero was a very pleasant surprise. I really like this string. So I'm excited to get this Eco Power out on the court and see how it compares to that as well as other Luxilon strings on the market. So let's get on the court and let's play with this new eco-friendly Eco Power string from Luxilon. So with the Luxilon Eco Power, the obvious comparison is to the recently released ReString Zero, as they are both eco-friendly polyester strings. But after playing with both, I can confidently say that they are very different strings and seem to be aimed at two different demographics. The ReString Zero was firmer and maintained tension and snapback longer. The Eco Power is a soft, comfortable, and powerful poly. I've been getting many requests to review softer polys, and I typically don't use those types of strings. I did not know what I was getting into with this playtest, but I found Eco Power to be a very arm-friendly string. I felt no jarring sensations on off-center hits, and even during long singles rallies, my arm did not feel fatigued. This string also has quite a bit of spring to it. This power was very evident in my returns and my flat serves. When I flattened out a return, as long as I kept my form and came over the ball, my returns landed deep in the backcourt. I could also hit penetrating backhands, as it is my flatter shot, and I could push my opponent around the court with ease. I did have to be careful though, because undisciplined swings sailed the ball long quite often. This string shined on the serve as well. The Eco Power gave me that extra pace and net clearance on flat and slice serves, but also provided a decent amount of spin on kickers. I like when a string allows me to mix up my service game to give me different avenues for attacking my opponent. I could serve and approach the net, or just step in and take the next ball early and place it into the corner. This string also had some decent arm feedback for when I wanted to hit drop shots as well. Serve and drop shot is not a combination many people use, but I like to resort to that combo quite often because with the Eco Power, my opponent's returns often landed short and I could either attack it or drop it, and my opponents were left guessing and bewildered. Another thing about the Eco Power is that it has a lot of dwell time. This is good for feel on angles and touch shots, but also assisted in directional control. Think of lacrosse. You can catch the ball in the net of a lacrosse stick and you throw it in the desired direction. That is what the Eco Power felt like. The ball was caught in the string bed and I flung it back in the direction of my choosing. The dwell time also felt good on slices, where I really like to aim left and right and keep the ball low. I really felt the ball sinking into the string bed on my backhand slice, and I could plow through and direct the ball deep. The dwell time and extra pop allowed me to hit skidding slices. However, I just had to make sure to impart spin to keep the ball inside the lines. Speaking of spin, the Eco Power had a decent amount, definitely not as much as ReString Zero or other aggressively shaped strings with extreme snapback, but the Eco Power's spin level was respectable. I found that on full swings that I thought I overswung and sent the ball long, the ball actually dived in the last second onto the baseline. A few times my opponent didn't attempt to hit what they thought was a ball going out. Although I got lucky a few times like this was not what I was intending, so at times I couldn't trust the spring in the string. That leads me into the cons. So the biggest con with soft polys, and the reason I don't really use them often, is because they tend to take a nosedive in tension after just a few hours. The Eco Power is soft, comfortable, and powerful, but lost tension every time I played with it, and each time was a different experience. I had to adjust my form and swing speed each time, which is generally not what you want. Most players look for something that feels the same every time, and I just couldn't trust this string once the tension dropped off. Granted, the loss in tension isn't as egregious as something like Polyfiber TCS or the Headlinks Original, which is very soft and mushy and changes playability within like an hour. But I really struggled to keep my aggressive ground strokes in the court, and I became tentative. Most of tennis is mental, and when you can't trust the string, you can't play your best, and I especially felt that way rallying from the baseline in singles after about the third play session. The Eco Power also has a very odd feeling. Earlier I mentioned about the long dwell time, which was good, but the impact response feels somewhat cheap. The Eco Power is made using recycled plastic materials like PET bottles, and that's exactly what it felt like. Once the tension dropped off, this string felt like a cheap plastic toy. If Walmart sold strings, this is probably the feel that it would have. It became extremely springy. I didn't hate it because I still got decent control on drop shots and feel-oriented shots, and I could direct the ball where I wanted, but I wasn't entirely comfortable with it either. It wasn't like anything else I've tried. But this may not bother others. I'm just a stickler when it comes to arm feel because so much of my game is predicated on touch, feel, angles, aiming for corners, aiming for sidelines, and taking those high-risk shots that I want something that I can trust, and I want something that feels good, crisp and lively, and I know exactly where on the strings I'm hitting the ball and where exactly my shot is going to land. But these were the only two cons I really had with the Eco Power string, but they were both pretty major issues. Since I'm an aggressive swinger, tension stability is something I weigh heavily, and I didn't feel confident swinging out on returns once the tension dropped. Also, the plasticky feel was a bit foreign to me. Maybe I could get used to it, but the tension loss is a deal breaker. So who is the Luxilon Eco Power for? It's for environmentally conscious players who are looking for a soft, comfortable, and powerful string. Like I mentioned earlier, although the Eco Power and ReString Zero are marketed similarly, they are aimed at different types of players. I think this is a good thing, since if they were the same and interchangeable, one particular demographic would be alienated. In the Eco Power's case, players with arm issues and players who want more power can benefit. In the ReString Zero's case, players who want tension and snapback stability and more control will benefit. So having both of these eco-friendly strings on the market gives players more options. Hopefully we will see more of these environmentally friendly options in the future, as I think any amount of waste we tennis players can reduce, such as balls, strings, overgrips, and packaging, will help to make the earth a cleaner place for us to play tennis. Thank you for watching this review of the new Luxilon Eco Power string right here on OpenCourt. If you guys like this content, be sure to overhead smash that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you on an OpenCourt.